Hi, my name is Elliot, and I do the bottom rung of what you guys are talking about here, and it's so weird. It's so weird to like see the other side of doing this, right? So
weird in a good way, or
weird in a it's way. Like really confusing the matter, and sorry I wasn't here earlier for the other talks, but I guess what you guys are talking about is a common connection between the community and what's on the walls, right? And everybody here, we like to see stuff just happen, right? You like walk around the block and you see like this piece and it's like amazing and the colors are flowing and like you found it, right? You found that piece and that's what, at least for me, that's what graph is. You find
Yep,
these
I agree.
little
That's
bits,
how I feel
too.
too.
So like making a council and doing everything and like 12 people agreeing on this.
That's right.
And
That's not graffiti.
Totally opposite to what is actually.
That's
happening.
right, exactly.
But we have to keep that essence. So like it's really weird to like balance it. You know what I mean? Because like everybody needs to like. But pieces grow on you, and you like pieces because of where it is. You can be like, hey, that piece with the big head with the thing coming out the side, meet me there, and people know instead of like meet me at Queen,
exactly.
John or whatever. Yeah. So it's kind of like that's how it links to the city, instead of like
it's locational.
Beautifying. It is beautifying, and sometimes beautiful is embarrassing. So you have to kind of make it into sort of a because everybody's not going to like a Rothko piece, and I have a Rothko plan for the city, and nobody's going to like it, you know what I mean? But at the same time, it's kind of like, that's what some of us love, if you really think of it deeper, So like this whole thing, it's like whatever, cats are just going to paint, and we're going to paint, and we're going to keep rocking, I should say, because it's
Would you rather get paid to do what you're doing?
And I do
work with
I
governments?
do get paid to do what I'm doing, right? But it's like the zest of it all, right? You have to understand the culture of graffiti, which I've hopefully grown out of right now, right? But it's a sense of you just got to do it. You don't care what they say.
Yep.
Who's this?
I get
council,
it.
Right? You know what I mean?
I make
and
pictures for a living too.
That's
I just got to do it too, right?
Yeah.
But the thing is, though, just doing something and having a bigger forum where you're supported by the city and the businesses to do that thing on a bigger scale isn't that more grand? Isn't that kind of more enticing?
It's not for you.
Versus doing something and having it covered up the next day.
Yeah. And that's the question that I've got. What's it feel like the next day when you see it coming down? This wonderful piece that's going on.
I'm going to speak like I'm 16 years old again and say,
Do it.
Great, I got the flick, I'm out,
Yep.
right? I'm going to speak for the rest of the cast, right? You know what I mean? It's like the art. A part of the art is doing it and getting up, right? Which evolves, and I'm an example of it evolving, right? But some people still have the certain values and the certain stuff connected to that. You know what I mean? Like graph, we talk about it as graffiti, right? But graffiti is a whole other thing than what you guys are speaking about.
Yep.
It's like aerosol art, it's murals,
it's spontaneous.
It's nothing to do with any of this. You know what I mean? Like,
they do it for themselves.
And that's the whole connection. It's really weird. But to get art and people connected with their community, you know what I mean? We have to like have a sort of I don't know, it's like it's so hard because you can't go, okay, freely go and paint because everybody's not going to like the Rothko that you did. You know what I mean? Because they're not going to understand it. But it's a freedom that evolves the artist to understand that, to carry people along, to understand things. You know what I mean? Like I've been following you for a really long time, Mr. Tex Ellie, and you're like the greatest ever, but I wonder, why are you on this panel? I've never seen a mural of yours or a big piece.
Not in this country.
Exactly, right? So you parlayed that, you made that work, right? On some exactly. So it's like we have to understand what we're dealing with before we actually really get to, because it's like a whole layer. You have beautiful, beautiful artists that you guys don't really consider as a mural piece or art, right? And yeah.
Well, and to your point, that is why we have to get to the bottom of it, and that is exactly why we have people like Gary up here. I mean, we need to understand, like, and I hear you, man, because I'm an artist too, and I left all the corporate stuff behind, you know, and I totally hear everything you're saying. But, you know, at a point, you know, you need to somehow, you can't just go do whatever you want to do anywhere, even though that, if I'm hearing you correctly, is the core and essence of your work. Is that fair to say? Like, that's graffiti, do it, you know, that's it, man, I found my spot. However, would you agree that to a degree, you need to somewhat, and I'm going to use this word loosely, like respect property ownership who may not necessarily want something on their wall where you feel that's the spot I got to do right now. I mean, is that, you know, which then brings us to this discussion. You know,
I'm going to interject for one moment. Just wanted to, sorry John, I'll speak. And I understand you put it anywhere, but that building owner next morning gets something from the city, and they have to spend $500 to remove it, or the city will.
Right.
And a lot of them are small business who can't afford the $500. And the city forces it upon the small business. So that, and then when it's taken off and then put up again, they pay $1,000 for the month. They haven't done anything, and most of the time if you ask them, they will let you put something up. But it costs them $1,000 a month. They go to business, and they have to close up shop because they can't afford the removal thing all the time. That's the issue. That's why I think these discussions are important.
Yeah.
Sorry, I just have to interject. It's like those cats that do that stuff on the walls, they know what's real and what's not real. I know what is a mural-based community project piece, and I know what is 3 wicked, awesome dudes that like do other stuff, you know, in their day, but they just came together to rock this. I understand. If you guys could get those guys, those 3 awesome, wicked dudes, to do that piece, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It would connect with the city. Those people that are doing the writing respect those guys. Not saying that they don't respect, like I've grown up now, and I totally respect every type of art. It's really weird.
Wouldn't you say that some of the examples that Lily showed in her slideshow, like Jesse Harris, for example, that you've changed piece, the birch tree, and some of the other works, they were I was fantastic.
Yeah, they were good. They were great, but if that
I mean, it's not like 20 years ago.
If you've changed piece, was a little closer to the ground, it's gone. And I'm not even trying to be like weird and disrespectful to the piece. I love the piece. I went to see the dude in the studio. He's amazing. Yeah. But it's gone. Nobody 16 years old just coming out of high school is gonna respect that on a nice day. You understand what I'm saying? And the thing about it is that they don't understand to respect that just yet. But they don't have the time, because nobody gives them the time to improve their
16-year-olds live in the same community as 36-year-olds and 86-year-olds, right? But we all like live together.
I know that, and I know that. Please go to schools and tell them that. I wish I could like do my little classes and explain that to them, right? But they're still gonna bomb, because that is a culture graph. And we have to understand the culture to go a little further with this. You know what I mean? And it's
to that point,
you have to open people's minds to what's going on.
To that point, it almost answers the question why we're doing this, is to understand better. And having someone like yourself show up tonight and share with us so openly, I mean, that is part of the process. Who knows, man? 5 years ago, you might find yourself sitting up here and go, 5 years ago, I was in the audience, and I was like, okay, good. Now I get it. Now we need to have this conversation, because I am truly enlightened by hearing everything you said. I think we should get
y'all want to roll with us?